Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, double honors to the elders and apostles of Jim as well. Shalom to the hopeful elect. I saw this video the other day and I saved it. There was another video I wanted to show as well, but it got taken down, which is it was like a future generated by AI, and it just shows you how wicked this man is, and how the Lord said, if he doesn't come back, no flesh would be saved, because it just basically showed man evolving from monkeys, into basically AI and robots to cyborgs and androids, which is what this man basically wants to do. He wants to, with his little humanitarian program, he wants to merge, man and machine. This man is out of his mind. Yeah, let me just play this quick video.
October the 18th, 2022. Today, the organisation known as Deagle, which predicts historically population growth, is predicting a mass population decline between now and 2025. Not 2030, not 2050, 2025, just around the corner. They are predicting staggeringly a population decline, a population drop of 77% in the UK and 68% in the USA, and approximately 34 to 35% in Australia
Hang on.
in the UK.
77% in the UK.
And 68% in the USA,
68%
and
in the
approximately
US.
34 to 35% in Australia and New Zealand. There's no explanation for these figures, and Deagle are not known for their conspiracy theories. So where are our mainstream media organisations? Where is Reuters? Where is the Associated Press? Where is Channel 10, Channel 9, the 7 Network, SBS, ABC, the BBC, NBC, MSNBC, CNN? Where are you all? Why are you not questioning these figures and trying to explain them to the public? There are American college football teams, kids essentially, who are cancelling the rest of their football season because of a lack of healthy players. We live in a world, whether you live here down under or up in the UK and in Europe or over in the USA, we now live in a world where we are peppered with the sounds of ambulances. Something is going horribly wrong, and we can't just see it and hear it with our own senses. We can now read about it on official projected figures. If this is the modelling that our bureaucrats were referring to pre-pandemic, we should be very concerned that not a single so-called elected bureaucrat is giving us any explanation for it.
Yeah.
This incredible device removed.
And when I tried to find that Deagle paper, I didn't actually manage to find it. I did, however, come across this little white paper called Global Trends 2025, and I can't really go into everything here, but let's just look into the little contents, your little contents, what's it, contents list, executive summary, more change than continuity, alternative futures, back to the future, growing middle class. Now, anyone who knows about this little the Juice Crew and this whole little thing that they had going on knows that they're actually trying to destroy the middle class. So you gotta kind of take the meat out of it and spit out the bones. State capitalism, a post-democratic marketplace rising in the East. Bumpy ride in correcting current global imbalances, multiple financial nodes, divergent development models, but for how long? Populations growing, declining, and diversifying at the same time, which is basically the population in the West is going to decline, but the population in the East is going to rise up. And one of the reasons it's going to rise up because, let me just get this quick article here. In India, there is no culture of taking flu shots as we see in the West. We tried when we launched a few vaccines in 2010 during the H1N1 pandemic in 2011. No one took it. Flu is not something that sounds scary to people. They just do not want to take it. So them people over there, they really want no parts in Esau, and that goes into the scripture of every hand shall be against them. This people is being exposed on all levels, and these people don't trust them. Let's see, the pensioner booming, aging populations because of this whole marriage situation. People don't want to get married in the West because the laws are really with the women, so men are kind of opting out. And that's going to create aging populations, and a lot of people from the East are going to end up coming here because there's more chance of them, what's the word, of them having a better life over here. Now obviously we know all this stuff is not going to plan out the way it is, because as these people make plans, the Lord is laughing. But this is what they've this is where it would go if Esau's kingdom was to continue. Excuse me. Migration, urbanization, and ethnic shifts, demographic portraits: Russia, China, India, and Iran. Rising heavyweights: China and India other key players. Because the whole thing with the West is they think China's gonna be the new superpower, because their model, even though it's oppressive, is actually more sustainable than the West, because men are not basically treated like second class citizens in their own country. The dawning of a post petroleum age, they want to introduce electric, geopolitics, energy, water, food, and climate change, which really should be crisis. A shrinking arc of instability by 2025, and this is where it gets interesting. Growing risk of a nuclear arms race in the Middle East. And the brothers are constantly talking about how the valley of Jehoshaphat, is where Esau is gonna meet his end. New conflicts over resources. Esau just basically being a thief again. Terrorism, good and bad news. Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Iraq. Multipolarity without multilateralism. To be honest, I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what that means. Multipolarity. Multipolarity refers to a geopolitical situation that arises when several power centers balance each other out. Political scientists and international relations scholars usually use the term to describe what happens when no one nation state has overwhelming power over the others. And it just shows you that the West is declining in strength if they're using such language like that. That's multilateralism. Multi. See what that means. I don't have a clue what that means. Multilateralism, process of organizing relations between groups of three or more states. Beyond that basic quantitative aspect, multilateralism is generally considered to comprise certain qualitative elements or principles that shape the character of the arrangement or institution. And we all know that these people are really trying to get these people to follow the model of the West, which is just basically, woman worship and self destruction. Because when you give women power, what they tend to do is they tend to destroy themselves with it. And as I always say, Esau is a woman. Uh, Long range projections are cautionary tale: globalization at risk with 2008 financial crisis, and we all know there's going to be another financial crisis next year. There's going to be a problem with the food next year. Science and technology leadership, a test for emerging powers. Latin America, moderate economic growth, continued urban violence, because those communities, they don't have a lot of jobs on offer, and when you don't have a lot of employment for young people, what they do is they tend to turn to crime. And this is all because of Esau's policies. Women as agents of geopolitical change. And again, this is Esau trying to uplift women to really you know destroy the family unit. Because why the hell we got a queen? Why the hell you got Liz Truss in office? She couldn't even last more than 45 days, and she's just gonna run off into the wind and get £150,000 per year, for being an MP. And I don't know what the hell that was about. And now they're bringing in this little Rishi guy, trying to make it seem like he's a person of color, but he's a heathen. Higher education shaping the global landscape in 2025. The impact of HIV/AIDS, Muslims, and Western Europe. Now this is gonna cause a problem because I have a totally different philosophy, to the West. win- winners and losers in post-petroleum world. That's something that Arabs are not going to be happy with because their whole claim to fame is oil, and if the world doesn't need as much oil, so it's in their best interest to keep this whole oil dependent economy, you know, because these people have saved up a whole bunch of stuff for their children. They've got oil reserves for their children. These people really, man. Let's just go through this. To climate change winners, strategic implications of an opening Arctic. I don't know whether or not Esau wants to go over there and destroy there as well. Sub-Saharan Africa, more interactions with the world and more troubled. A non-nuclear Korea, Middle East, North Africa, economic drive change, but with major risk of turmoil. Energy security, another use of nuclear weapons. Why Al Qaeda's terrorist wave might be breaking up. The changing character of conflict, because it's not going to be foots on the ground, it's going to be drones in the air, and it's going to be bombs in your ass. End of ideology, potential emergence of a global, oh, you know the word here. So we all know what Esau's going to do again. Greater religionism, people are going to be turning back to the Lord, or they're going to be trying to, because they're going to realize all of this stuff is, proliferating identities and growing intolerance. Because what happens when you believe and you come across an unbeliever? You're gonna have a lot of friction. Future of democracy backsliding more likely than another wave. Anti-Americanism on the wane, and we all know that's not gonna happen. So it just shows you that there's some meat and there's a lot of bones in here, and you can I'm gonna put this in the description. People can you can look for it yourself if you want. It's quite a long white paper, and some of it is bull crap, but Esau's basically trying to act like he's on people's side. And this is Proverbs 23:7. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, saith he to thee, but his heart is not with thee. So with these other nations, he's basically saying, I'm cool with you, eat and drink with me. Let's break bread, let's make money together. But his heart is not with these nations. It's not with Jake in this country either. He doesn't care about any of these people. He wants to use them to his own ends. Even when he gave the little Jewish crew, he's a physician of no value. So a lot of the times when he was doing that, it's really to weaken your immune system, from what I've seen. Because I know quite a few people have taken it and they still caught that little bug. You know what I mean? And I really feel like they're not as physically. What I generally believe is it breaks down your immune system, so you're not able to recover as you normally would if you were to be sick or injured or whatever the case may be. And as this woman was saying with a Deagle paper, they're expecting 77% of people in the UK to be, dropping out. So what? That's three-quarters of people. Let's see how many. Uh, hmm. Now, what did it say? It said 77% of people in the UK. And 70, I don't know about you, but fully and one dose, the difference is roughly 77%. Let's see. She says 68 for the US. Hmm. Well, that's directly on the target, but that's still quite fishy. You know what I mean? Oh man, this man is a demon, complete demon. Let's see. Let's get a couple scriptures because this man really thinks his house, is gonna go on forever. You talk to these Edomites, they're making plans. I was even talking to one Edomite the other day, and where I go to work, you can charge your electrical vehicle there, and I spend probably about three, because I don't have a car, I don't really need it, but he's like, you should. And he made a good point, because over the course of 10 years, if I stay there 10 years, I'm going to spend at least 30 grand on travel. And if I spend that 30 grand on an electrical vehicle, I could resell it. So instead of spending 30 grand over the course of 10 years, if I spent 30 grand on a vehicle, even though I would pay insurance costs, so on and so forth, I would be able to get some of that money back. But I'm looking at him like, yo, I don't expect to be here in 10 years, my guy. You know what I mean? I don't want to be looking at you. You look, you upright apes in the next 5 years, to be honest. I'm hoping the Lord speed us up, man. I want to be done with this place. This is Psalms 49:11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. Nevertheless, man, being in honor abideth not. He is like the beasts that perish. This is their way is their folly. This their way is their folly, because they really think this is gonna last forever, man. But these people are so stupid; they don't even realize they're destroying themselves. Yet their posterity approve their sayings. Salah, like sheep, they are laid in the grave. Death shall feed on them, and the upright shall have dominion over them in the morning, and their beauty shall consume in the grave from their dwelling. Yo, Esau done, man. There's no way this man thinks he's gonna be around in 5 to 10 years, man. If he does, if I don't even want to say it, but I like it's not like I would, but I'm really in that spirit of if the Lord don't come, I might as well, I might just jump in front of a train. Obviously I wouldn't do it; it goes against the scriptures, but that's how much I hate this place. You know, and you can look into the scriptures. You had you had you had you had Job, who was just basically begging the Lord to take him out. Even Moses, when he was dealing with Israel, he got so frustrated. He basically said, "Lord, take me, man. I can't. These people are too much for me. Am I am I their father? Did I give birth to them that they come to me for everything? Because dealing with people in this world is friggin' exhausting, man. But Esau really thinks he's gonna be out here, and boy, she says 68% in the US are not going to be around by 2025. I'll just leave that at that. I didn't bring a lot of scriptures out, and I don't want the lesson to go on too long. What I'm going to try and do is leave a link to this paper if anyone wants to look at it. You know what I mean? But yo, things ain't looking good for E, man. All praises to the Most High Yahweh, by Shem Yahushai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Jerusalem. Well, shalom to the elect.